Hello, my beautiful, delightful women. I am pleased to welcome you. Today, we begin a module devoted to the element of air. A woman who masters this element has inner freedom and lightness in her life. She realizes her predestination, and then there are no obstacles for her. She feels totally happy in her life. Many people who have reached a very high level of material wealth and have been very successful in life come to me and say, "Something is missing in my life. It seems that I have everything I had dreamed of, but there is no sense of satisfaction from life." At this point, I can clearly see that the person is not going the way of his or her destiny, and we will not be happy until we fulfill our predestination. God incarnates us here on earth just so that we may comprehend our predestination. It's different for everyone. If we walk through life and do not follow our predestination, the higher powers try to guide us back to the road of our predestination. God creates different situations for us, and if we do not follow the way we were meant to, then God tries to talk some sense into us. God is not an evil man who tries to hurt us in life. He puts a signpost in the road of our life. Sometimes we can just bump right into them. Signposts can be different. It can be an illness. It can be a financial crisis. It can be a difficult relationship with a partner, but only for the very purpose that you and I wake up and realize that we are doing something wrong in our lives. We need to be able to read the signs of God, and today I will teach you how to read them. When we miss the signs of God on our journey, we can encounter difficult situations like diseases. For example, this happened to my student Catherine, who came to me with third-stage cancer. When I first saw her, she had no hair on her head. She wore a kerchief. She had bruises under her eyes. Her face was yellow. She was so gaunt. I looked at her and realized that the woman was not going the way she was meant to. She was advised to come to me. The doctors gave her no prognosis for her future life. But she decided to try unconventional, from her point of view, healing methods. What happened to her next, you will learn at the end of our lesson. My dear, I have experienced all this knowledge that I am passing on. During my life, I was able to take the power of 111 of my strongest past incarnations. When I was a priestess, when I was a healer, an herbalist, a shaman, and I crystallized all of my powerful incarnations in the past lives, and I have gathered their power in this life. That is why I give you this ancient knowledge. In ancient times, priests and shamans could always define a child's predestination easily. For that purpose, at a special astrological time, all children were brought into a special space, which had absolutely everything in it: musical instruments, weapons, beautiful decorations, toys. When a child went in there, he was not told anything. He just approached the toy or the thing that caught his attention. And by the object the child chose, they could determine what the child's predestination was. Adults understood that the child who chose a weapon would be a warrior. The child who chose a musical instrument would have a delicate organization of their soul. He would create. He would learn music. He would be a great performer. And that's how each child's predestination was found. In accordance with that, they would educate children, not like it is now, where a child has already been told what school that he will be going to, what university he will enter, and what he will become. Instead of becoming, for example, a dancer or ballerina, they tell her, "You'll be a lawyer because that's a reliable profession, because it gives stability in life." That's why many people feel depressed, stressed, and dissatisfied in life. Imagine that every person in every incarnation had predestination. And if a person found that predestination, it crystallized and became his talent in his next life. Just like there is graphite which becomes a diamond under pressure through efforts over billions of time. In the same way, a person reveals his talents in life thanks to efforts, inner wisdom, and inner readiness to change. And so it is not surprising that when a child is born and begins to grow up, he shows a predisposition to something. It is easier for someone to sing, someone begins to dance immediately, another speaks several foreign languages, and another yet begins to learn martial arts, while someone else draws perfectly. These are crystallized talents from past lives. The very first task is to figure out if you have a talent from a past life. How do you do that? You really just have to try everything. Try dancing, singing, drawing, or sports. Have you tried any of those? No? Then it is about time to do it. If you say you are too old for something, I do not accept such an excuse, because it doesn't matter how old you are. We can find and realize our talents at any age. You haven't tried it yet, have you? Let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is realize the talent. And then we have to find our predestination in this life, because it may be completely unexplored by you. We will do special energetic sacral practices at our seminars to open all these talents. When a man discovers his predestination and starts to live in accordance with it, it is the same as if you have been given a red carpet through your entire life. You walk it easily and freely. You're healthy, you're happy, you have harmonious relationships in your family. You're not thinking about where you're going to get a means for a living, and you're successful in your career because you're doing what you are destined to do. To make it easier for you to understand, I will give you an example of how past life talents can be realized in this life. One of my students worked at a ski resort in Switzerland who had never skied before. One day a friend suggested that she give it a try. She agreed to give it a try. And as soon as she started skiing, she instantly showed such agility that everyone said to her, "You must have been skiing for years. You have a lot of experience. You're just fooling us." She said no. And when she and I delved into her past incarnations, we saw that in her past life, she was an Amazonian without fear, and that power transferred to her in this life and is now being realized through such athletic achievements. By the way, when she realized her predestination and began to enjoy it, she started winning every prize in many competitions and contests. Exactly the same success awaits you. Today, I want to share with you the ancient wisdom that will reveal to you the secrets of your predestination. As I said before, God is leading you down the path. How do you recognize these signs of power? To do so, my dear, you need to make a prayer to ask a higher power and ask God for it. Now take an aromatic incense stick.
Online course, great knowledge of the most successful people in the world is collected here. Register for the course.
Light it. Look at the smoke that forms different patterns in the air. By the way, you can predict the future by the smoke. When you and I meet at the seminar, I will certainly see your future in the smoke of the fire. Now please, draw your future, just for one day, at least for today. What do you see in it? Imagine that this is your magic wand, with which you draw today. What do you want it to be like? Maybe you draw a magical sign that represents power and love. Or maybe you specifically draw yourself and your family with a big smile on your face. Come on. Draw it. Now, direct the fragrance, an air current, right into the throat area. Breathe it in. Feel the energy center in the throat area, which is responsible for your purpose. Start awakening. Dear, put your palms together against your chest. Tune into your heart. Say with me the words of prayer appealing to a higher power. Lord, give me strength, give me love, give me wisdom to know my predestination and to serve you in this life. Feel your prayer rush like air into the heavens. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Put your hands down. My beloved, I recommend you say this prayer every time you feel that you lack strength, energy, or that you have reached a dead end on the road of your life. Ask God every day to give you strength, love, and wisdom to fulfill your predestination. After that, you will see your life become much easier. After all, imagine that you will have the patronage of God Himself. You will see His signs. If you have difficulty deciphering these signs, please write to me. I will help you. I'm now holding a magical candlestick in my hands. It is like the light of your soul's predestination. I always use it when I perform a special ritual to determine each soul's predestination. Now please take the amulet of power that you may have bought at my seminars. If you do not have one, you will be working with my amulet of power and with my candlestick of the soul. Put your hands forward. Take the light of this magical amulet and direct it into the area of your chest and into the area of your throat. It is as if the warm air from my amulet is directed at you. The assistant spirit that lives in such amulets is very important for the opening of one's predestination. I recommend wearing such amulets on your chest or keep it somewhere next to you. Very good. You have taken power and energy from our ritual, and right now we will begin it.
amulets and talismans. Charged at sacred places of power. Obtain an amulet. Individual ritual for close relatives. Protect your children, partner and parents. Register here.